And now to the arts. The name Bruce Onobapia is one that commands admiration and respect in the arts world, as his contribution to the craft is nothing short of exemplary. So for a man who is seen as a mentor to many other artists to set up a school of sorts where talent is allowed to thrive, this legacy is one that should be admired. Art Review tonight looks at the life and works of an art icon.
A great writer once said that there is no art to find a mind's construction in the face. Those words aptly describe the situation in Mushi, a suburb in Lagos State, which houses veteran artist Bruce Onobapia, who is on his feet and hard at work, with an assistant eagerly following instructions on this piece. Not to disturb this creative process, we watch. When the time is right, we sit down and chat about 50 years of creating, discovering, and perfecting several techniques in printmaking, relief sculpture, and painting.
You're a great example of an experimental artist. Now, back in the old days, what made you dare to be different?
Like a child who plays with toys. You get tired of a particular toy, and then you get a new toy, and then you get excited and you work with it. Again, you get tired, and so you move to another one. That is how experimental art is.
This multi-talented artist was born on August the 30th, 1932 in Abaroto, Delta State. He stayed there till his family moved to Benin City, Edo State, where he attended the Western Boys High School. His first rendezvous with painting was beholding the works of Emmanuel Irabo. From there, he was hooked.
And it's been over 50 years of experimenting with different techniques, breaking boundaries in printmaking, sculpture, and painting. Now, is there anyone, maybe you say, is closer to your heart? Anyone you prefer?
I started because I specialize in painting, and then from painting I went back to printmaking, which was to have been my original line of specialization, but it was not discovered in the high school. I discovered it after the high school, and so I went on doing prints, and then while in prints, I was doing things in sculpture, also in painting, but eventually I have come back to making real canvas painting the way I started.
While at the Nigerian College of Arts, Science and Technology, now the Ahmadu Bello University Zaria in Kaduna State, he and some of his colleagues made a name for themselves when they formed the Zaria Art Society, which went down in history as the Zaria Rebels.
You know, usually when they talk about rebellion and so on and so forth, they're looking at students throwing stones, carrying placards and all that. No. We never did anything of such. What we did exactly what they asked us to do in the class, the academic side of it. But when we retired to our cubicles, we now discussed how to present our art to rightly project our culture and generation.
During his decades of art practice, he also had the luxury of changing gears to the literary world, not by putting pen to paper, but by illustrating the writer's vision on the book cover. Some examples are An African Night's Entertainment by Supra and Equincy, Chinua Achebe's No Longer at Ease, Kola Onodipe's Sugar Girl, Daniel Fagunwa's Forest of 1,000 Demons, and the list is a long one. So we wonder.
It's been real joy that I've been able to work with these great people. But when you talk about them, Achebe, Quincy, Fagunwa, Wole Soyinka, you want to look at all of them, all of us, as contemporary. We we were around about the same time. About the same time. Some were a little older, some were much more older, but we were contemporaries. So we were contemporaries pre-independence, to independence, and after independence.
When you look at the art scene now, what do you think? What's your perception about it?
I feel quite happy because before our time, we did not have as many mentors as they are around now, mentoring them. And I see that when they come to full maturity, their generation would be greater than our own generation.
Welcome back. In sports news, Olympic flame has gone out as the Sochi 2014 Games ended with a spectacular closing ceremony. After 18 days of host duties, Russia can certainly call the 2014 Winter Olympics a resounding success as it added 4 medals to its total on the last day of competition. Russia kept hold of the overall medal tally with 33 and claimed the prestigious crown of most golds with 13. International Olympic Committee President Thomas Bach said the Russian hosts had proved their critics wrong. The Games had more than 2,800 athletes from 88 countries and featured 12 new events to attract younger fans and more broadcasters than ever before. But as the 2014 Sochi Winter Games come to an end today, Africans, particularly Nigerians, may not have reason to talk about it simply because it does not command followership in this part of the world. But in this special report from our partners at the Voice of America in Washington, James Brook profiles some black athletes that took part in the Games.
Cross-country skier Mathilde Petitjean is the first athlete from the West African country of Togo to compete in the Winter Olympics. She sees herself as a pioneer.
I think that I'll inspire more Africans to ski, people of black color to want to ski. There may be more skating. There's no snow in Africa, but they can build skating rinks.
And the welcome in Russia, this land of snow and ice?
Very well. Everyone is super nice with me. A lot of racers ask me where I train because in Africa there is no snow.
This year, more than ever before, black athletes are competing in the Winter Olympics. There is American speed skater Shawnee Davis, and American bobsledders Lolo Jones and Lauren Williams, and French figure skater Maë Berenice Maite. The big celebrities in Sochi are the Jamaican bobsled team. Team captain Winston Watts says they have plans for the future.
Goal is towards the next Olympics is we're going to develop younger pilots, get younger athletes, to portray their dream, to go forward to to Korea Olympics.
The most proactive are the Togolese. In their search for winter sports athletes, they have trolled the internet and held news conferences in Sochi. Mawuli Ramanou is the Togo Olympic Committee's development director.
We've been in Sochi 10 days now, and we have candidacies of at least 20 Togolese living abroad who would like to participate.
Togo's ski coach is Steve Grundmann of Germany.
Nobody believed in us, and everybody was laughing about us, and we never stopped. We really continued, and we believed in it, and we said we want to bring Togo on that winter sports map, and we did it. So I'm really, really proud. I'm really, really proud of those two girls that we made it possible. I mean, we created a skiing federation in Western Africa.
Back on the mountain, by the Olympic cross-country ski course, Togo's Nicolas Ramanou throws down a challenge to other African nations.
At the start, we did debates on the radio, and the Africans themselves said that winter sports are not for Africans. I responded that as long as they're African jet pilots, there can also be Africans who can ski.
If the trend holds up, more black athletes will compete at the 2018 Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang, South Korea. James Brook, VOA News, Krasnaya Polana, Russia.
On to football. In the English Premier League, Daniel Sturridge and Jordan Henderson both scored twice as Liverpool maintained their Premier League title push with a 4-3 win over Swansea City at Anfield. It was a match that showcased Brendan Rodgers' side race into a 2-goal lead before letting Swansea draw level, then powering away to a result that sees them staying in the title race with Chelsea, Arsenal and Manchester City. Henderson had the final word in his side's 4-3 success, forcing home from point-blank range in the 74th minute after his initial effort had been saved. However, Swansea played their part with a stirring away performance capped by Yonyo Shelver's first-time strike and a brace from Wilfred Boney.
From de Guzman, he's taken a couple of touches on his way through, but 2-2.
Away from sports news, Ukraine has named Alexander Turchinov as interim president after the parliament passed a vote of no confidence on President Viktor Yanukovych on Saturday. Parliament also voted to seize Mr. Yanukovych's luxury estate near the capital Kyiv, with which protesters entered on Saturday. The interim president has given lawmakers until Tuesday to form a unity government. Meanwhile, freed former Prime Minister Yulia Tymoshenko says she has no interest in becoming Prime Minister again. She was responding to reports that she was being nominated. Ms. Tymoshenko's release was one of the conditions of the EU-Ukraine trade pact that President Yanukovych rejected last year, triggering the protests that led to the current crisis. Meanwhile, thousands of opposition supporters remain in the square, where the atmosphere is described as sober. Well, new revelations are coming from the trial of former Egyptian President Mohamed Morsi, the latest being that he leaked state secrecy whilst Revolutionary Guards. Prosecutors allege that he and 35 others were involved in a plot to destabilize Egypt. They were specifically accused of delivering to a foreign country national defense secrets and providing the Iranian Revolutionary Guards with security reports in order to destabilize the security and stability of Egypt. Mr. Morsi is also accused of collaborating with the Palestinian movement Hamas and Lebanon's Hezbollah movement, but if convicted, Mr. Morsi could receive the death penalty. His supporters say he and senior Muslim Brotherhood leaders are victims of politically motivated prosecutions. And the main news again. The PDP has insisted that the suspension of CBN Governor Sanusi Lamido Sanusi is in order, but the opposition has disagreed, claiming that the suspension is linked to the alleged missing $20 billion oil fund. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Aminu Tambuwal, has visited former President Olusegun Obasanjo, saying he, just like the former president, remains in the PDP. And Ukraine has named its Speaker Alexander Turchinov as interim president following the exit of President Viktor Yanukovych. And that's the news at 10 tonight. Many thanks for watching. I am Amarachi Ubani. Good night.